Hello, hello, hello. Wouldn't you know it, we're celebrating another 20th anniversary. But for which game this time? It's only Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The third of the Star Wars prequels. Um, got a direct tie-in this time, unlike Attack of the Clones. Although I think Attack of the Clones did get one, like a GBA game that was like explicitly Attack of the Clones. The rest were all in sort of tied into other sort of titles surrounding, but not explicitly Attack of the Clones. Anyway, that's not what we're discussing today. Today we're going to be talking about Revenge of the Sith. And I guess less talking and more cleaning my case for it. Because I've still got some stickers from when I bought it, second hand. I don't have a copy from back in the day, because I just never happened to get a copy of my own, always borrowing it from Blockbuster or friends at the time. Eventually I did pick up my own copy, which is what we're looking at here. But there are some issues with it. Chiefly, we got some stickers we gotta get rid of. I don't want those on there anymore. And we got some guff around the spine here uh, that simply must go. I will not have it on my case. And just in general, could use a bit of a scrub. Um, not particularly bad, but I made a bit of a boo-boo purchase by way of I've got a platinum disc for a non-platinum copy. Which is the downside to buying secondhand sometimes. And the convenience of actually getting it from an actual store, rather than, buying it on eBay or whatever and hoping it all comes okay. Instead, you get it in store for cheap. But, sometimes you get something that's not quite right. Though typically it's a missing manual. But, the manual, with the case, I'm sure I can probably track down an actual disc at some point, if and when I get around to it. Speaking of getting around to things, let's get started on the cleaning. So we shall remove the manual, if I could get my gloved fingers underneath. Here we go. Yeah, we've got some cool art on the back of it. Most tie-in games I've covered thus far only have a single page of credits, or a single spread of credits. Gotta get that in frame. However, this one's fancy enough, it gets two spreads. If you've been watching my streams, you'll know Tom Kane has been in a bunch of the games I played leading up to this celebration. Same with Corey Burton. There's probably some other names in there too, but the most notable ones is James Arnold Taylor, Tom Kane, and Corey Burton, who all respectively voice Count Dooku, Yoda, and Obi-Wan Kenobi in all the non-movie stuff. So like 3D Clone Wars. Some of them did 2D Clone Wars, all that sort of stuff as well. But manual, pretty standard affair of here's some buttons, here's how you do this particular control, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, let's get that out of here. Speaking of get things out of here, let's move the disc aside for now. The top will need a bit of a clean because it's kind of grubby. Likewise, for underneath, kind of grubby. Last I checked, which was maybe a year or two ago, maybe longer actually, it does work. It's just a bit grubby. So we'll be cleaning that up later, but first things first, we're going to do the case. Now, we are going to have to remove the sleeve from the case, because if there are any holes in the polyethylene cover, we don't want fluids to get through those holes and ruin the cardboard there, or paper, whatever that material is. Anyway, so as you can see, you got the guff, got some stickers, got some more guff. So we shall start with the easiest by way of stickers. So I'll grab a fresh. Let's not fling the plastic razor blades at myself, but conveniently it did allow me to get one. Right, so we're just gonna slide the blade underneath the sticker to kind of lift it up a bit. From here, should be able simply peel it off, because the sticker is not 20 years old, thankfully. If this was one of the original stickers, it might be a little more involved in getting it off nice and clean. There we go. Ooh, perfect. Look at that. We're much better already. Let's get off. There we go. Nope. There we go. Now it's gone. So same thing with the round recycling one. Get the blade underneath there to sort of lift out the sticker. It's up enough to grab. We get a nice close up again. Peel it off. Ooh, lovely. Good stuff. Get that out of here. So that leaves basically just a general wipe down. You can kind of see the hang on, camera wants to focus. You can see where the circle used to be. Same with the top up there. I haven't let it come off with the scrub, but we'll find out. In the meantime, we're gonna get rid of this crap. So to start off with, let's do. We're going to grab a no, sticker fill in it. Here we go. Okay. Going to use a cotton bud or Q-tip, whatever you call them, in your region of the world. I'm going to get some dissolve it. Very good at getting rid of sticky stuff, which is what this used to be. Bit of hair on there. And we're gonna just try to soak in. If it's gonna work, doesn't want to. I think. Yep, there we go. That's better. Okay, I think most of that was out of focus, so whoops, and oh well. But we're just gonna give it a good old rub. And get it in there. Gonna leave it sit for a moment. As it dissolves it, as the name would imply or suggest. Seems like it's already sort of coming off a bit. So if we're lucky, we won't need more than one coat, but oh, look at that. Blech. Thankfully, most of it's coming off on the first coat. The second coat might be needed for some stubborn bits. But we'll find out shortly enough. Again, more crap on the old cotton bud. Right. Some stubborn bits there, so we'll just apply the other end, get a fresh, clean end of the Q-tip. Try and get it to do the thing again. There we go. That's better. Don't know if that would have come up in camera, but at least with my eyes, I could see it expand as the cotton bud soaked up with the liquid. As you can probably see, most, if not all, of that sticky stuff is gone. Yeah, there you go. Ugh. Yucky. I'm gonna guess based on the well, just I guess the assumption of time. That stuff's probably been on there for 20 years, or close to. Yeah, I'm quite satisfied with that being gone and removed, eradicated, which is fine because we have another side to do. Look at that. That's the original side. This is the side I just used. Much better condition, but there was also a lot less for it to remove. So there's less of it this time, but it does sort of leak over a bit onto the blue. You can't see it there on the edge. So same drill. I'll grab a fresh cotton bud. This is mostly just to control fluid, so it's not getting absolutely everywhere. And we shall can arrange my light, camera focus, and hands to align the stars. You can apply some dissolve it. It looks like some of this might be a bit on the thicker side, slash maybe even some damage to the case itself. So I'll probably apply a much healthier dose of it. Dribbling everywhere. Oops, get that shadow out of here. Yeah, this little nubbin here might actually just be like a hole in the case itself, which is unfortunate, but that is also why we remove the cardboard cover from underneath it. So we're not applying sticky spot removal chemicals to some paper, because I can't imagine that going particularly well. As you can see, it's getting quite grubby as the stuff is coming off. It's looking like it might be both like damage and it might have a bit of sticker or something in there. Maybe. Or it's just crumpled. It might just be crumpled actually. But it's difficult to tell whether it's just stuff the cotton buds are leaving behind or whether it's stuff I still need to get off. It's mostly gone now, but there was still that little bit on the case, the blue case, that sort of overlapped from the you know, plastic sleeve cover. Yeah, okay, there's nothing we can do about that one, I don't think. At least nothing in my skill house that can be done. If indeed anything can be done. So we got a spot here. It looks like there used to be another sticker or something there. Just quickly give that a bit of a wipe. Oh, look at that, it's come right off. Fantastic. Saves a lot of effort on my part. So we've got a PlayStation 2 sticker here. Not going to be removing that one because it is an official licensed sticker thingy. Cool. That looks like all the difficult parts completed. So I'm going to do now, move the utensils out of the way. I'm going to grab our microfiber cloth. I'm going to grab some Windex or, multi-purpose cleaning fluid that I've conveniently put into a smaller bottle instead of a giant spray bottle thing. We're going to get that nice and wet. And we're just going to wipe down the case. It should give it a nice good clean whilst also removing any, because like this dissolvent stuff does leave a bit of a sort of slimy residue of sorts. I'm going to try and be a bit careful towards the edges so we're not getting Windex like underneath the cover because that can be a pain in the ass to dry. Yep, big the devil, I've gone and done it. Yeah, you can see there, I've got the fluid under there. Whoops. No biggie. Looks like that circle thing might not be so easy to get rid of. But once the paper cover's in there, again, I don't think it'll be that noticeable, hopefully. So, let's just continue. I think that will just about do it. Well, wipe on the corners there. Alright. So, not a huge, big old differee-do. But, you know, I'm satisfied with the inevitable fewer germs uh, sitting on the case, because it hasn't been cleaned since I bought it, and who knows what sort of gremlin has been touching it. Not that I'm a germaphobe, but yes. Okie dokie. Probably should do a quick wipe down of the underneath segment. Yes, I will. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna grab a bit of paper towel. I don't actually know how well this works as a cleaning thing, but something placebos. Chuck that under there. Alright. Give it a good old rub. Try and get that touching all the bits. And we're gonna try and rub it out that way. Again, no idea if this is doing what I think it's doing. But I think it did it. Okay, so it looks like it's done. Not a lot, but not nothing either. Just do a cheeky wipe under here. It's probably infinitely more effective than wasting time with that paper towel. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's better. Anyway. Cool. It looks nice. This side looks nice too. Now, the inside looks quite clean actually. So, I'll just repurpose this paper towel. And we'll just give it a good wipe down underneath. I'm not seeing any trouble spots, so there's a hair in there. So just a general wipe down should suffice, hopefully. It's getting a little soapy or bubbly, but we will deal with that uno momento in a moment, if that made any sense. Alrighty. Cool. That should probably just about do it, I reckon. So we'll find the dry part of our microfiber towel cloth and just sort of give it a once over to sort of dry out the spots we left from our rubbing. There are some spots up here. And then we'll check the front again, or the outside, because I've probably got some liquid through some of the various sort of holes. Corner here, you can kind of see it. There we go, that'll do it. Yeah, you can use that to see the holes. I've probably got a little bit of cleaning stuff down in them crevices. I'll have to go wipe again. But otherwise, I think that's all of it. She looks good. Yeah, okay. That's good actually. Alright. Awesome. So, case I'm happy with, that's done. So, we need to move on to the disk. Because the top side, kind of grubby. Underside, grubbier. So, we'll start with the top side. I think I have lost my wet spot a bit on. Very careful with that because it's not the correct side down. Let's make some more workable space there. Oops, I've spilled on myself. Carefully pick it up there. And we're just gonna give it a rub. Not too hard because I don't know exactly what the Windex is gonna do to the writing on a platinum case. Presumably it'll be fine. As long as it's not like soaking for hours. But then that would probably happen with any liquid. Just about. Cool. Doesn't seem particularly grubby there. So we'll give that a bit of a dry. Look at that. Got a bunch of scratches, but it is not as grimy as it once was. Now for this side, same sort of deal, but we're going to make sure no circular motions. So from the center outwards, or to the best of my ability, which is questionable at the best of times. Here we go, much cleaner. Now all we can see is those beautiful, beautiful scratches. None of which look like a problem, just sort of aesthetically unpleasant. Like I said, quite sure the game functions still. I don't have any polish stuff that I can use to clean up some of the smaller ones, but I've seen people use that before to great effect. So maybe when mine arrives, I'll go back to the ones I've cleaned and be like, hey, let's get rid of some of these scratches. We'll try to. But that's looking pretty good to me. Definitely serviceable. I'm not running like the tightest of ships here, as evidenced by I'm satisfied with that for the time being, the platinum disc without the platinum case. So we shall do a return of disc to case. Oof, wonderful. Shall return the manual to the case. Very nice. And then we need to do the probably the fiddliest part, the cover. Yes, we got it the right way round. So if we can just awkwardly fit this stuff under the sleeve. Oh, almost there. There we go. Well, come on. Stay on target. Okay, that's this corner is playing silly buggers on me. Keeps getting caught on every which thing. Probably because my angle was too much. That's not quite right. Put it over some. How's that? That's looking much better. You can see a little scratch in Anakin's face there where where the divot is, and that is unfortunate. But that is Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Nice and cleaned up. Quite happy with how well that cleaned up, actually. Actually, it's kind of bothering me that it doesn't go over just that little bit more on the case. That didn't seem to change anything at all. Like I said, fiddliest part of this whole ordeal. Alright, I could be here all day. That'll do. Not really going to look at it that often anyway. But yeah, nice and clean. Yeah, awesome stuff. I'll be playing this on stream starting tomorrow. We are a week early, give or take, on the actual 20th birthday, but I got stuff on, so I won't be able to stream it on the actual birthday, which is a bit disappointing, as it is a once in a 20-year, or technically once in a lifetime, actually, it's more accurate to say, event. But I got to see it in cinemas again. That was awesome. But yeah, oh yes, with actual footage, which blah 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 blah. Who needs words? With actual film footage from the Episode 3 movie. Hell yeah. Alright, that's enough waffling from me. If you can, give the game a go. Great fun. I'll be proving that on stream at some point, or on the channel. So yeah, until next time, goodbye, I guess. Bye.